Hello, I'm a UK TV critic. For my first review, I'm going to cover the bittersweet comedy Derek, written by Ricky Gervais. It stars Gervais as the lovable, innocent care assistant Derek, a character written to prove that Gervais doesn't hate all the disabled community, just the religious ones. Kerry Godliman plays Hannah, the tortured soul who deserves a better life, and spends most of the second series horizontal. David Earl, who plays the sometimes hilarious troll-like man who sort of sits to one side and says minge sometimes. And Carl Pilkington, who plays himself. Each character is well established and believable, even the background wrinkly ones. The old people's home setting means it's easy to believe the heartwarming storylines, even if they do sometimes repeat themselves, like Vicky, Holly Dempsey, and Dion, Doc Brown, who go through basically the same character transformations. But this show is not without its problems. First of all, there's a balance issue. It's rare to find a show that perfectly balances emotional drama and comedy. It's like trying to balance a diet for an American, and Derek doesn't really succeed. The dramatic points make the show profound, but they do make the comedy somewhat uncomfortable. And then you have Kev, a great comedy character. He is extremely uncomfortable to watch, but that's not unusual for a Gervais comedy. But the things he says completely remove all drama from a scene and probably put a lot of people off watching the show. Having said that, there is an episode in the second series in which Kev tries to improve his life, which is emotional but ultimately ends up pointless. Which brings me to the sheer number of times Derek tries to pull your heartstrings. Pretty much every episode contains some kind of emotional journey, pardon my use of that wanky phrase. If the emotional moments hit, they can feel quite moving. But if they miss, they feel quite arbitrary and uncomfortable. Also, Series 2 makes an interesting trade, in the same way trading a house for a picture of a house is an interesting trade. Dougie, the character Carl Pilkington plays, was the highlight of the first series, with a lot of his lines sounding unscripted. He always has a good outlook on life. Gervais thinks so especially, given that he's used some of Pilkington's quotes in the past in both this show's scripts and the scripts of some of his stand-up shows. You know, it really says something about Gervais that the man he says is an idiot is responsible for a large number of the things Gervais has written. After being the heart and soul of the first series, Pilkington just disappears for some reason. Pilkington says that he wasn't enjoying the pressure of making a TV show, leaving us to not enjoy the second series of said TV show. Pilkington's replacement is both an unpleasant character in the show and just generally unpleasant to watch. He's a constant reminder that the show is weaker for lack of Carl Pilkington. Overall, it's quite difficult to recommend this show. If you're the sort of person who would enjoy this show, you probably already watch it, and are probably crafting me a very strongly worded email telling me not to insult your Lord and Master Gervais. Oh, I do hope that email contains the word mong. If you've never seen a Gervais comedy before, I wouldn't recommend starting with this one. If you're looking for a good comedy show, there are funnier ones out there. If you're looking for an emotional drama, this one falls flat on its face most of the time. Although, having said all that, the show isn't exactly bad. I'll definitely be watching the next series or Christmas special when they come out. No one could ever accuse the show of having no heart, for instance. For all we know, this show could just be a transition period for Gervais, as he tries to get into some serious dramatic writing. Anyway, here's my email address in case you want to call me a twat or something, or maybe send me a show that I should watch and review. Subscribe if you want to keep up with the reviews as they're released. And thanks for watching.